This is the Core 2 video showing how to to write equations from graphs. Take a graph and write an equation. This is our classwork for February 27th. So you can take out that paper and work on that paper. First of all, I am asked to find the x-intercepts. There are two x-intercepts, the y-intercept and the vertex. So I look at my graph, and first of all, graphs do not always have the x. But if you're talking about x and y, the x is horizontal, and the y is vertical. So we can put those in. Secondly, they don't always have the numbers. I have a 5. I have the 5 here. So I know that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 squares in between. So I call this 1, call this 2, call this 3, call this 4. Then I have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, and then negative 10. So I know I have some more information really than is actually given on the graph, but I can figure out what that is. So first of all, x-intercepts. X-intercepts are where the line crosses the x-axis. So my first x-intercept is 3, because it crosses at 3. My second x-intercept crosses at negative 7. The y-intercept, x-intercepts cross the x-axis, the y-intercept crosses the y-axis. So I look for where the graph crosses the y-axis, and it crosses here at negative 21. So I can say that my y-intercept is negative 20. My vertex is the lowest point or the highest point. In this case, it's the lowest point, the minimum value. And I need two things for the vertex. I need the x value. X value is negative 2. So I put that here. I also need the y value, and I can see the y value is negative 25. So that is the critical points, the x-intercepts, the y-intercept, and the vertex for the graph on the front of our paper. I want you to do the same thing, find the x-intercept and the y-intercept and the vertex for the graph on the back side of the paper. So here's the graph. Turn your papers over. You have 4 minutes. All right, my x-intercepts be 6, -2. My y-intercept is -12. And my vertex is 2. And -16. Okay, good. Let's go back now. The second thing we need to do is write the equation. And I'm going to write the factored form first. Factored form is when I have parentheses. So I have my parentheses. And I know I'm going to have x times x. Since the graph has a minimum, I know that I don't have a negative x. So I know I have x and x. And I know that I can find my x-intercepts by taking the opposite of these numbers. So I'm going to have x minus 3 and x plus 7. But I'm going to check that just to make sure. I'm going to bring up my calculator. So I'm going to take this equation and put it in the calculator. X minus 3, x plus 7. To do that, we start off with this button here, the y equals button. After I get the y equals, I can start putting in the equation. So I start with my parentheses. So I push the parentheses, and then x, the x button comes up here. This is the x button where it says x, t, and has a theta and then an n. So x comes here, and you'll notice it puts an x. Second thing, minus 3. I use the minus, not the negative, and 3. Then I close my parentheses, and I start the second factor, x plus 7. I close that. Now I look at the graph. To look at the graph, I push the graph button. Over here I have the graph button. And I see my graph. It's a little bit like this, but I need to change my window. So instead of -10, I'm going to change that to -20. Actually, I'm going to change it to -25. My maximum I'm going to leave at 10. Sorry, that's my x value. I'm going to leave that at 10. My y value is what I need to change. So I come down, I push the down arrow, this button here, and y min needs to be negative, let's say -30. Now I go back to the graph, and I see more of the graph now. And when I compare the graph, when I compare this graph to the graph in the problem, I see they look similar. All right. Take 4 minutes and see if you can write the factored form for your problem on the back of the paper. Okay, factored form, you needed the parentheses, and again, you don't have a maximum value, you have a minimum value. And we found out that that means we do not have a negative x. So we have x and x. And for our intercepts, I have a positive 6, so I put x minus 6. I have a negative 2, so I put x plus 2. Okay. Hopefully all of you got that. The second thing I want you to do, write the standard form. Standard form, we've already seen the relationship between the standard form and the factored form. We multiply the binomials, and I'm going to do that using the area model. With my area model, I multiply the two sides, x times x. I get x squared. Negative 3 times x gives me negative 3x. 7x gives me 7x. 7 times negative 3 gives me negative 21. So for my standard form, I write the x squared, and then I take 7x's and I subtract 3x's. So I have plus 4x. And then I have minus 21. This is my standard form. Answer for the standard form. Okay. I would like for you to do the same thing for your problem on the back. You have the factored form. You need to write the standard form. It'll take 4 minutes to do that. Okay, you've had a chance to work on this now. Hopefully you did the area model. X times x squared, x times negative 6, which is 6x. 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. So when you do your area model, or when you do your standard form, you do x squared minus 6x plus 2x, that's minus 4x. And you have minus 12. Okay. Next, we'll do the vertex form. We noticed in the vertex form looked like this. And then we either had plus or minus a number here. We had plus or minus, and then a number here, plus or minus, and a number here. So we need to figure out those numbers. What we found was this number was the y value of the vertex. So I look at the y value of my vertex. So let's come back up here. The y value of the vertex is negative 25. So I'm going to put minus 25. And the value inside was the x value for the vertex, the x coordinate, and that was negative 2. So I will put in plus 2, because we found that inside we have to get the parentheses to add up to 0. We need 0 on our parentheses. When we plug in the negative 2, we need to get 0. So I'll put plus 2. Negative 2 for x, plus 2 will give me 0. This is my vertex form. And to check that, I'm going to check that really quickly. I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to do the area model with x plus 2. X times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. 2 times x is 2x. And then 2 times 2 is 4. So when I do my equation, I have x squared plus 4x plus 4 minus 25. And then I combine the 4 and the 25 plus 4x minus 21. And this is the same as my standard form. So I know this is correct. Okay. Take 4 minutes and do the vertex form for your problem. You look at the two things in the vertex. The y value goes here, and the x value goes here, except when the x value is positive, you make it negative, and you put your x. Now we want to check and make sure that works. Do the area model. And I do x times x, x times x, x squared, x times negative 2, negative 2x, x times negative 2, negative 2x, negative 2 times negative 2 gives me a positive 4. So when I do my equation, x squared minus 4x plus 4 minus 16. And I combine the 4 and the minus 16 to get minus 12, which is what I came up with. So I know that I have the right vertex form. Thank you very much.